Welcome to the Reiki Business Collective, where Reiki business owners come together to share information, support one another, and serve the world. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing, interviewing and inviting Reiki business owners to join the conversation in the Reiki Business Collective Facebook group. Thank you. Welcome to this episode of Reiki Business Collective. In this episode, we are chatting with Derrick Ivey. Derrick is an intuitive psychic healer living in northern Colorado. He studied psychology and addiction counseling, is a certified transpersonal hypnotherapist and certified hypnotist through Transpersonal Hypnotherapy Institute, and is a Reiki master teacher. He operates a fully remote online healing practice, helping people step into higher timelines all over the world. And he is here to talk with us about moving forward in our Reiki business. Derrick, welcome to Reiki Business Collective. Such an honor to have you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Christian. It's an honor to be here too.
Yes, thank you. Well, Derrick, please tell us a little bit about your Reiki business, and then we'll move into talking all about how we can move forward in our own.
Yeah, so my Reiki business, Reiki was something that found me, not the other way around, and I think a lot of us have that same experience where we're drawn to it and we don't know why, but we know we have to do it. And we're meant to do it. And that was my experience. So I originally went to school to be an addiction counselor after getting clean and sober off of alcohol, drugs, stuff like that. But once I started doing that, I realized, this is not the type of help that I want to provide for people. Just the setting and just everything that came with that, but I'm grateful that I got that guidance. And from there, I worked for a long time at a grocery store doing medical billing, just stuff that wasn't really in alignment. And but I knew that I was meant to help people. And I knew that that's what made me feel filled up, was when I was able to give to other people and help them out of the dark places that I had been in. So I went to school, and I know we're not quite to the business part yet, but just a little background for everybody. And so yeah, I knew I had to do that, and for some reason I was guided to learn how to be a hypnotherapist, and worlds opened up once I started doing hypnotherapy for people. I started my own practice originally just to do hypnotherapy. I had an office, and this was pre-COVID. And then once I started getting into these really deep psychic trance states under hypnosis myself, I was able to kind of peel the veil back a bit in a lot of ways, and I started being able to work with the energy, see the energy, feel exactly what it was doing, and I just started getting these messages like, this is what this person needs to do, like that's what's causing the issue they're in right now or whatever. So I had always been kind of drawn to Reiki for years. Like I always would see it and be like, oh, that sounds awesome, I want to do that. And one of my hypnotherapy colleagues was actually, she's an acupuncturist also, acupuncturist, healer in all senses of the word. And I mentioned to her, I said, I really want to learn Reiki. And she said, I can teach you, right? And then as soon as I knew that, I was like, I don't care how much it costs, I want to do it. And I went and got my level 1 training And as soon as I got my level 1 attunement and started working with clients, it was very obvious that I already knew how to do this intuitively. It was, and I'm sure you've had the same experience, Christian, with that. Like, and once I started doing it, I was attuned to all levels by within a year, and then it became the bulk of my business because people that had had sessions with me would really want my Reiki and recommend me to all of their friends. Like, that was incredible. Like, I can't believe, like, you. And of course, I didn't do the healing. That's the divine. But, you know, they would say, like, oh, you healed my this problem I've been having for so long. And I was like, this is where it's at. So then immediately I was still doing medical billing part-time on the side. And I don't know, it was kind of a leap of faith. And the office I was at was a very interesting environment. And I ended up leaving one day, and that was the end. And then I was able to devote all of my time and energy into Reiki, into healing, and putting that energy that I used to put into my work, doing medical billing, putting that into my business. It's been ever since. I've been doing this full time. Sometimes are better than others, of course. There's dead, like right now, you know, it's like I have a lot of things to do, but it's kind of a slow period in business. It's the summer. And I don't know if you've been experiencing that as well. But yeah, so sometimes they're better than others, but I've always been provided for. Bottom line, the universe has always taken care of me and helped me grow. My practice has grown tremendously. So recently I've developed an online course for people, and this kind of uses Reiki in an interesting way. So I kind of incorporate, I'm here mostly called to help people with addictions because I've been down in that hole before, and I know how to help people up. I'm living the transformation that I represent, and will be I'm better fit to help someone divinely with that problem than others might be. So that's where I'm drawn. And I've created a program online that's a one-on-one hybrid coaching program. So the online course is there, the mobile app is there, and people can go through that at their own pace wherever they're at. And then they can get my support also and get healing sessions for the time they're in the program. And that's been really exciting, signing my first clients onto that program and being able to make a deeper impact. And that was another thing that kind of, I didn't pick that, but it just made sense. And I was doing a lot of one-on-one sessions, and that was all I was doing for a while. And then I got called to do bigger work, help people on a bigger scale, create an online course that could help even more people than I would be able to reach doing only one-on-ones. And so also, I also teach Reiki. I attune people from levels 1 through master teacher. I love doing that too. I think the main thing I love about my business is that I get to teach people, and I get to really affect their life in a positive way by being that bridge between them and the healing. So is that kind of, hopefully that wasn't too much.
No, that's great, Derrick. That's a lot of really great stuff. And it's a great way for us to move into talking about moving forward in your business, because you really have done a lot and it's very inspiring. So obviously, Derrick, you're someone who has really moved forward in their business and has some tips and pointers to pass along. But before we do that, there was something you said, Derrick, that I just want to point out to listeners, because I think it's really important to be said, is that
Um,
even established Reiki business owners have ebbs and flows in their business.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, sometimes there are more clients and more activity than
Mhm.
others. And so I think I want to say thank you, Derrick, for pointing that out, because I think it is important to point out to listeners who,
Yeah.
may be experiencing, maybe they're newer business owners, or maybe they're even
Mhm.
established Reiki business owners, and they're experiencing some ebbs and flows and saying, what am I not doing right? Or maybe someone who's considering starting a Reiki business and thinking that it's the kind of thing where they'll have full bookings of clients all of the time. But Reiki is just like any other business where there are ups and downs, there are ebbs and flows. Sometimes there are more clients than others, and that's simply
And
the way that businesses work. So, Derrick, thanks for pointing that out.
yeah, of course. Yeah, and when you were saying that, it's like sometimes there's so many clients you don't even know what to do with all of them. Well, I mean you do, but it's a lot. And other times it's like, what am I doing? Like, so yeah, that's very, very important. And especially to those that are listening that are just starting out, that's huge because it can be very discouraging at times, but it it does have that ebb and flow.
Yes. Yeah, Derrick, thank you for that. And, Derrick, you are moving forward in your business. So please talk to us about moving forward in our business. You are doing all kinds of things. You're seeing clients, you've put together a course. Talk to us about moving forward and some of the challenges that we might have with
Yeah,
moving forward.
yeah. So definitely imperfect action has been absolutely key for my business. Um, I used to have a lot of perfectionistic tendencies, like, like I am going to get all of this done perfect, and if it's not, then I'm horrible. And, a lot of I've healed a lot through my business. It brings up a lot. So, just knowing that and moving forward anyway, and knowing that, you can always go back and change stuff and make things a different way that you want to make it, but it's not the end of the world if it's not perfect. But if you don't start somewhere, then you're not going to be anywhere, right? Like, so that's key. Imperfect action. In the beginning, I reminded myself over and over and over and over again, take imperfect action towards your goals. Not, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you don't do anything, then you're not going to get anywhere. So that's been key for me. Basically, also just moving forward with, I'm trying to, it left me. So if you have any other questions, let me know. It'll come back.
Yeah, Derrick, thanks. You said a couple of things there that are really great, especially this idea of having our own business as being something that's going to bring stuff up for us, right? Something
Yeah.
that is going to bring up things that need to be healed. That is such an important point to make, Derrick.
Yeah. It definitely, like, we have to be that transformation that we are giving to our clients, or we're not. So we have to do the work too, even more so than before. So yeah, it's brought up a lot of really deep stuff that I was able to clear, and it's been a huge blessing. Um, yeah, it's totally my favorite thing to do though. So it's like it's it doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like a joy and a delight, and I get to connect with so many amazing people and help them get out, because I know how it feels to be in situations that my clients have been in, and I remember I pull from that wisdom of what I did to heal myself, and that I'm able to transmit that to others as long as I continue to do my own healing work. So that's huge about moving forward as well, because it's like it's not the end of the world, it just is the way it is. And I as long as you're moving forward, you're making progress.
Yeah, Derek, that is so true that when we get into having a Reiki business and stuff starts to come up, stuff, for instance, like that perfectionism, right? Like,
Oh,
I this has to be perfect. Oh, I can't, my business cards aren't done because I have to have the perfect logo or something like that, right? And
yeah,
that can really serve to not only stop our moving forward and our forward progress, but also show us that, oh, we have some things that maybe we need to reflect upon in our own experience.
absolutely. Yeah. And it's kind of like, as far as that goes, it brings up the exactly what we need at the moment. And uh, taking imperfect action forward, moving forward, it's really the only way that we get ahead. Like, because like you said about, oh, it has to be the perfect logo. Like, I've sat on things for 3 months that took me 5 minutes. So it's the action. It's the action. It's not the what you're doing. It's just like, okay, I'm working on it. And it's usually it's not as scary as we make it out to be in our mind about, like my accountant, I put it off for 3 months going through and coding my business bank account and everything. And it took me 10 minutes. Like, come on.
I love that, Derek. I think that this is so important to note. Here is a task that you were putting off and putting off, and it didn't take you quite so long at all. And I
No,
think that that's so important to emphasize to listeners, that so often we put things off and put things off, and gosh, when we do it, we realize, oh, that wasn't so bad after all, right?
and I that just brought me to a whole other point, which is like we are totally like able to get help from so many people. We're not in this alone. And I think that's one of the things in the past that has prevented me from moving forward, is thinking I'm all alone in this, like, oh, no one, like, I have to do all of this. If it feels more abundant, hire someone to do something, like it, and just get it done, and it'll make you more money. Like Reiki teaches us such an energy exchange, in the sense that it's like the more we put into our business, the more that's going to come back. And especially like with clients, like the more healing that we give to them and the more presence that we have, then the more is going to come back also.
Yeah, beautiful, Derek. Thank you for mentioning that. So, Derek, you talk about imperfect action. What
Uh-huh.
does that look like to you? So, can you give us some examples of what that's been like for you?
Yeah, totally. So imperfect action to me is, I'm trying to think of an example, that because examples always are the best teachers, I feel like. So, okay. Um, so right now, when I was building my online program, Stabilize Your Soul, I kind of got into that whole thing about, it has to be perfect and all of that. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to write the whole thing, like make all my slides, make the videos, the guided Reiki sessions, like everything I need to make. I'm just going to do it. And then it'll at least be done, instead of being like, oh, well, I can't do anything until I figure out how to make this happen and make that happen. Another example would be sometime just posting, making a post to get more clientele. Like, I used to think those had to be perfect, and it's like, it really doesn't matter what you say. It's the energy and how are you serving people. And so that's another one. It's like, well, I'm going to put something out there to keep showing up for myself and these people that gain from what I share with them. And it has nothing to do with money. It's just, like that, putting yourself out there.
Yeah, those are great examples, Derrick, and thank you for sharing them with us and helping listeners to really get an idea of what imperfect action might look like, and how getting past that desire for everything to be perfect can really help us to move forward in our business. So that's really great. Derrick, what tips do you have for people, for someone who might be listening and saying, okay, I get it, imperfect action, don't care what's in my posts, typos, whatever, post it, it's fine. Video, oh no, it's fine, just post it. But Derrick can do it. But what about me? Derrick, what do you say to that person who is thinking, okay, great, and now how do I implement that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I would say just do the Reiki, just start doing it. Like, it's not going to matter right now, like, about the money when you're just starting out. It's like, just do the Reiki, help people. And you might do some free sessions for your friends or trade with. That's a great way. That has enriched me so much, is trading with other Reiki practitioners in the beginning. It's like invaluable because we all learn from each other all the time. And so, yeah, just start doing the Reiki for one. And for two, just put yourself out there, clear the limiting beliefs that you have that say that, oh, I can never be as good as this person, because we're all thinking that. I'm thinking that, I see other people, I'm like, oh, I wish I could have things the way they do. But then I have other people that say that about me, and it's like, we're really all one. We all are thinking that. So it's like, people will love and accept you for who you are in the Reiki community, and I've never had anything contradict that. So just start doing it. Just start putting yourself out there. Dip your toes in.
I love that, Derrick. That is so beautiful and so true, isn't it? In multiple ways, what you just said, this idea that if we're comparing ourselves to others and what they're doing, the chances are pretty good that they are comparing themselves to us as well.
Right.
So yeah, that's great encouragement, Derrick.
Yeah.
And then also this idea that, the Reiki community is a really great community
Oh,
full
yeah.
of love and light and support and help. And so I think that one of the things that is really wonderful about being a Reiki business owner is that we are in a business with other business owners who also practice Reiki, and so we know all of the great things that does for us. So what an awesome point, Derrick. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have met the best people in through my Reiki journey, like people that are they're real in a world full of, like self checkouts and, just fake, like lies and stuff. The Reiki community is that it's in the heart for sure. Like it's real. Like I've met people like that you can get really real with. And I hope that I'm that for someone else as well. Because
Yes.
life is interesting. There's a lot of things to navigate, and having that community is just so valuable.
It sure is, Derek, and I felt that when you were talking about it and when you touched your heart, I felt it for sure, Derek. So
Yeah,
thank you so much. Yeah. And as you like to say, your famous quote, right? Life is lifey, right?
yeah, yeah. And that's a good reminder always, whether things are going good or bad, life is lifey.
Yes, yes. Okay, Derek, so this is awesome. So if we want to move forward in our business, imperfect action. Take
Mhm.
action. It's not going to be perfect. Do it anyway. What other recommendations do you have for moving forward?
Um, so if someone listening is just starting out, like they want to do the Reiki for either extra income or for their primary income or whatever, I would say the first thing is clear all of your own stuff with another Reiki practitioner, or do whatever you need to do to heal yourself as much as possible, and then just start throwing yourself in there and be heal with your clients. Like you don't have to be perfect to do this. I hear that a lot. People are like, like, what right do I have to do this? Like, I'm not healed. You have a huge right to do this because you're alive and you're a human and you're a healer. So let do whatever you need to do to let go of those subconscious blocks that are telling you that you're not, that you can't shine bright, because you can. So
Beautiful.
yeah, that's a huge one, I feel like.
That's great, Derek. Thank you for that. So, removing those challenges that we might have doing our own inner work, recognizing that, yeah, we do have the right.
Yeah, and I do healing work every single day on myself. We're never going to get it done. We can't get it wrong. We'll just have to deal with that energy down the road if we don't deal with it the first time. And it's not about a right or a wrong or a good or a bad. It's just life. And it's a it's a beautiful process to heal yourself and the world by through Reiki, because our ripple effect on the collective is massive. Like our one Reiki session ripples out and sends so much peace and love to the people surrounding that session, both me and my client. Um, it's so magical. And I'll never fully understand the extent of it, but I've seen and felt some amazing things from working with other people and seeing that ripple effect on the world. And the world needs your healing too, is another thing I wanted to say to anyone listening, that there's someone that needs you specifically. And you're uniquely qualified to help certain people the way that no one else can. And we're all like that. So we all need to tap into our own light and share that, and the right people will find you when it's time.
Beautiful, Derrick. Thank you. That is lovely. And really all great encouragement. So thanks for sharing your tips. So, Derrick, you had mentioned to me previously a thought of this idea of taking small steps to help move forward in your business. Would you
Yeah.
care to say a little bit about that?
So, okay, small steps. I think so. Like an example is make a Facebook page for your business, or, like go buy a Reiki table if that's something that you want to do, or, just like one step into the unknown at least once a day. That's been huge for me for my business is like I just step into something unknown, like, oh, we'll just see what is going to happen. And so I couldn't even think up all of the things that have happened in my business. Like if I were starting out, I couldn't even think up some of the beautiful things that have happened in my business. So it's definitely like you just got to keep doing, because if you do one little thing per day, in 7 days your business is going to be different. It's not going to be the same. And I think the main thing is keeping that momentum going. If that's something that you really want to do, then make one little step per day, because the time is going to pass anyway. So are you going to say it's not the right time, I'm not perfect, and not do anything, and then in 7 days you not only haven't moved forward, but you're not happy with yourself, maybe, possibly, because you didn't do anything. So just do a couple little things at a time, and also celebrate all of the wins, even if they're small. Celebrate it, give energy to that, and don't give energy to all of that fear.
Yeah, that's a great recommendation right there, Derrick. Celebrating the wins, recognizing them, because how often do we, almost in a sense like check a box or tick a box and say, okay, did that, next, moving on to the next thing. And we don't pause to say, hey, good job. You did that.
Right.
Well done. Yeah.
You look at it's human nature, and it's like I do it and I like to catch myself doing it and change it, but we always want to look at what's not here. Like, and anything could happen. Like you could have tomorrow someone pay you a bunch of money and whatever. Like, so it's kind of like just stepping into that unknown and not stepping into the fear.
Yeah, that is really great, Derrick. And I really liked what you said about how, if you take one step every single day, in
Right.
7 days, your business is going to be different. I think that's actually a really important and even profound
Yeah.
statement to make, Derrick. So thanks for that.
Yeah, it's definitely helped me a lot. And so I hope that it helps other people as well, just to keep going forward and not looking at what they don't have yet, but look at what I'm adding. Like if you one day you made a Facebook page, even asking a question to someone who's already went through that's one thing you could do. You could reach out to another Reiki practitioner and just ask one question, because we kind of learned this by a lot of different things. It's not, and a lot of people don't really have a lot of detailed Reiki training to handle. It definitely doesn't include the business aspect of it. So we have to help others and be willing to be helped. to move forward and be open to not knowing all the answers.
Yeah, isn't that so true, right? The learning never stops, right?
Never. Yeah, not even a little bit.
Yes, yes, it is so true. And, I think that that is really important in terms of this idea of moving forward to recognize that, we're always moving forward just by virtue of the learning. And even by just knowing that the learning never stops. I mean, what a thing to move us forward is the learning itself, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's wonderful. Derrick, thank you so much for all of your great encouragement.
Yeah.
Derrick, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Um, I think the biggest thing is just that for me personally, that about moving forward is just accepting that we're never going to get it done. Like we're never going to be, if you own a business, you're always just moving and working forward and improving where you can. And so don't take life too seriously. We came onto the planet to have fun into these bodies. And not only that, but what's the reason you want to do your business is to have freedom and have fun. So do that. Don't stress over your business, because that's the whole reason that we even wanted to do it, or at least I did, because I wanted that freedom and help other people. So if I'm stressing out about my business, then I'm not doing what I meant to do with the business. So yeah.
Yeah, Derrick, that's really great, and I do really appreciate your statement that it's never not every it's never going to be done. In other words, like there's always going to be something to do. So if you say to yourself, "I need to do this and this and this and this," you're always going to have a really long list, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think even looking at that long list can sometimes serve to help us not move forward, right? Like, oh my gosh, look at this list. Where do I even start, right?
Yeah. And I think procrastination is kind of like, it's basically us just trading our free time in the future for comfort now. So the more that you are able to get done today, the more that you're going to move forward. So, yeah.
Yeah. Great, Derrick. I love it. That is awesome. So, Derrick, where can people get a hold of you, get in touch with you, connect with you, learn more about you?
Yeah, so I have a website, and it is www.d as in dog, G as in goat, Reiki.com. So www.dgreiki.com. And then they can also always send me a friend request on Facebook. I love connecting with people in this community. I love helping people get to where they want to be in life, not just in Reiki, but also in general. And also, they can send me an email, dgtransformationalwellness@gmail.com, or they can also call my business at 719-398-0205, or on Instagram, DG Transformational Wellness, TikTok. Actually, I don't know my handle on TikTok, but send me a message and I'll give it to you if you want to look at it. But yeah, I like to be available in many different ways to get a hold of me. So yeah.
Great, Derrick. Thanks. And all of those links are down below in the notes, so you can grab them for yourself, listeners, and get in touch with Derrick. Derrick, any final
um, 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 um,
thoughts for listeners?
um, 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 Gonna see if I get anything that I'm guided to share on a final note. I think the biggest thing of all of this is focus on what you can give instead of how much you're going to make, and focus on the connections that you make instead of if people are going to pay you or not. Be a real person. I think that's the biggest part that will help you out on the journey.
That's beautiful, Derrick. And what a beautiful thing to pull us forward, focusing on the ways in which we can give. And that's beautiful, Derrick. So thank you so very much, Derrick. Such an honor to have you here on Reiki Business Collective. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a really amazing interview, so I'm grateful to be here.
Thank you. And just want to say thank you also very much for listening. We are honored to have you here and send you blessings and best wishes for your Reiki business. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, share, and join in the conversation at facebook.com/groups/Reiki Biz, B-I-Z. Blessings and best wishes for your Reiki journey.